2021 has been a rollercoaster year for World Rugby, mostly played behind closed doors because Miss Rona pulled down the world's pants and pegged us all. From the rebirth of the mighty Quins, to tantrums and tiaras of the Springboks head coach, to an explosion of South American rugby bursting onto the international stage. It's been a pretty full-on year, all things considered, and with extraordinary circumstances comes some pretty extraordinary rugby. Wales were first to ignite the international calendar after what was a dismal showing in the 2020 Autumn Nations COVID Cup. Some argued that Lady Luck played more of a part in Wales' success than the boys from the Valleys did, with all but England and Italy offering up red cards to sway the tide in the Welsh favour. With COVID still reigning chaos globally, world champions South Africa were dumped out of Super Rugby and replaced by Rugby Artoa and Super Rugby AU. New Zealand clubs provided the more entertaining rugby, with the as per normal Crusaders running out winners of the competition, and Queensland's Reds winning the Super Rugby AU. Harlequins had spent most of the last 3 years struggling to find form and gel as a collective team, but after sacking head coach Paul Gustard in January, Harlequins entered a rebirth, and like a phoenix from the ashes, they went about setting fire to the Premiership until they eventually shocked us all by becoming winners, despite trailing it in the semi-final and the final against the competition's favourites. A Lions tour in a normal year is always exciting, but a Lions tour in COVID added an extra layer of spice. That will probably leave the tour best left forgotten. From a rugby point of view, this was potentially one of the worst Lions tours ever seen, but off the field, it was shithouse city. In the build-up, COVID looked like it might force the tour to postpone, as a flurry of offers to host what was one of rugby's most prestigious events included Australia and Britain. A COVID scare in the Lions camp just before the game against the club team, the Lions, meant that no one knew who was playing where, and until moments before kickoff, that left Samit playing on the wing in the number 10 jersey, as it was the only one that fitted him, in something only seen at an Old Pistorians Vets game. It was magical. And then it happened. That moment that for me ruined the tour, as Rassie Erasmus succumbed to South African paranoia and leaked an hour-long video highlighting every mistake the referee had made against South Africa in the first test. Twitter descended into chaos and World Rugby stood still as a Nick Berry had every bone picked dry in what should have been a career highlight. The women's game also hit the headlines this year, with the Premier 15 finals being broadcast live on BT Sport, and to a packed COVID-secure crowd at Kingsholm. And then again in the Women's Six Nations, as the WRU came under heavy fire from mainstream media and social media alike, as the Wales team suffered heavy defeats from their more professional counterparts, and reports leaked that players had to fly back from Paris straight after their evening game against France, as the WRU didn't have the funding to pay for accommodation. Fortunately, this has now been rectified for future away days, as the WRU announced central contracts for players. Finally, to top the year off, the home nations returned to form, with Ireland and France dominating New Zealand and England seeking revenge on World Cup final foes South Africa in a thriller at Twickenham. All in all, a crazy year for rugby, and it can only get better as we build up to the 2023 World Cup in Paris. But who were the movers and shakers in 2021? Here's a glance at my team of the year. But before I do, here's a gentle reminder that this is just my opinion and you're entitled to yours, but there's no need to spam the comment section if I didn't suck off your favourite player enough. So, up front, I've gone with. So, in at loosehead, we're going to go with Tupou. He has been amazing this year, from YouTube starlet to international superstar. This kid has been an absolute beast. Onto our hooker, and although Argentina have had a really rocky year, only winning 2 games all of 2021, Montoya has been phenomenal for them. I don't think there's a better prop around in recent history that could challenge our tight head. He is being unbelievable. Twinkle Toes himself, Tag Furlong, makes it into the tight head spot. If you're in a bar fight, this is the guy you want in your corner. He's a terrifying monster. He looks like Space Jam on juice. Ebenezer is our number 4. Shot to fame this year with Alan Wynne Jones's injury and a call-up really brought Adam Beard into the headlines, and those octopus arms of his were outstanding on the Lions tour, disrupting mauls and winning lineouts. He looks a little bit like the bad guy out of the Hannibal Lecter films, but Michael Hooper is an absolute machine. He has lungs for days. There's just no work rate like it around, and that's why we're putting him in at number 6. In at number 7 on the open side flank, we've gone with Mr. Inspiration himself, Khaleesi. I don't think we need to say anything more about this man. He's done it all. He will do it all again. He is phenomenal. In at 8, we've gone with Poppy Cleo. She has done a fair bit herself this year. A Six Nations winner, a Premier 15's runner-up, and she's played lock, flanker and number 8. In at number 9, you could easily put Aaron Smith or Faf de Klerk, and both of those would be acceptable choices. However, this man is around, and when this man is around, neither of those come anywhere near him. He is exceptional. Such a great reader of the game. It's Anton Dupont in at 9. Another left field choice here with Finn Russell taking up the 10 slot. For me, he's been inconsistent over the last few years, but 2021 seems to have just settled him down a little bit, and it's just allowed those moments of magic to just shine a little bit brighter as the other parts of his game remain consistent. Abigail Dao makes our blind side wing. She has been an absolute whip it up the touchline for England in 2021 and deservedly takes the number 11 shirt. Now, yes, I know he plays 13 for his country, but he does play 12 from time to time, so I've slotted him in here because I've got somebody else in mind for 12, and Am takes the 12 shirt. In at 13, it's Mr. Defence himself, shot to fame this year, another one. Didn't do an awful lot with Newcastle Falcons, if truth be told, but he's gone to Gloucester and he's done fantastically well, and got himself a solid starting place in that Scotland 15 and won himself a Lions ticket as well, and it was so deserved. So the 13 shirt goes to Chris Harris. I don't think anybody's not picking this man. Grease Lightning himself. He's had a hell of a 2021. Six Nations campaign to die for. He's been shagging Paul Scholes' daughter. He's had a Lions tour. He's done it all, and he's got a lot of years left in him to do plenty more. Good things to come from this young man. Ruiz Samit makes 14. And finally, at fullback, another lad that's had pretty much everything to do this year. He had to step in at 10 in the Six Nations when Finn Russell wasn't available. He had a great campaign with Scotland. They were very unlucky in a couple of their games. And he's taken Exeter Chiefs to Twickenham for a Premiership final that didn't quite go their way. And he's also had a Lions tour as well. So plenty going on in 2021 for Stuart Hogg, and that's why he makes our 15th man. 2021 has been an amazing year for the channel, and I thank you all so much for coming on this epic journey with me. If you haven't already, please feel free to drop a like and subscribe. It helps so much. Happy New Year to you all, and remember, face down, ass up. That's the way we like to ruck. See you soon. Right, it's time to get off the loo and get back to work. You're about to get pins and needles. Don't forget, before you go, smash subscribe and hit the like button. I'd really appreciate it. Wait a minute. Why are you still here? Haven't you got anything better to do? Come on, move on. Click one of these videos. Okay, I'm sick of you. I'm going now.